Hi, I'm Vignesh. Now we are going to learn about how to model this Champions Trophy by using of a Solidworks. First, I'm going to draw one vertical construction line at the center of its portion, then mention the dimensions of 200 mm vertically. Afterwards, I am going to draw one angular line profile at the particular portions, just from a start point to end point. Once we draw the profile, next I need to fix this end point. First, selecting a origin point as well as a end point to fix it horizontally, same as like a top one. Once we fix it linearly, then mention the dimensions in both the portions. The bottom portion is nothing but the dimensions of 22.5 mm, that is half of the distance. Then the top dimensions is 45 mm. Once we mention the dimensions, automatically the profiles gets fixed based on the related to this dimensions itself. Then exit the sketch right now. Afterwards, I am going to create a surface by using of this. So select a revolve surface and choose this vertical center line to create a surface body under 360 degree. Now the surface body is created. Using this, I am going to draw two different kind of profile formations. First, I am going to hide the center of its portions. That is a profile category. Then selecting a front plane, draw a new sketch. Then draw a simple arc profile, that is a 3-point arc profile at the top end of these portions. Once I draw a line arc profile and draw a line profile by connecting from the end point as well as this edge end. Same as like a right hand, both end point as well as the edge portions. Now selecting this end point as well as an origin point to fix it linearly by using of vertical constraints. Now using a dimension to fix this profile under 30 mm. Once we mention that, again I am going to pick this end point, that is a top end point, selecting it as well as this midpoint as well as the another end point. Now fix it linearly by using of horizontal constraints. Afterwards, what is the exact dimensions we need to pick from this area is the top end positioning dimensions. It is 5 mm. Once we fix this profile, some of its entity is not fixed related to the overall dimensions. That's why I select the end point and use the horizontal constraints to fix it linear under the bottom point. Now the profile gets fixed. Then using a fillet to remove the sharp end into a curvy portions under 3 mm of radius. Once I mention the radius of this particular portions, the corner point gets removed into a curvy portions. Okay, using this sketch, go to curve, project curve, select a sketch on faces and choose this particular surface. Also select this bidirectional type because we need to project this sketches into a 3D curve in both the directions. Now it is combined with each other. Using this curve only, we are going to create a surface under these portions. Before that, I need to create a plane at the distance of 170 mm. So change the dimensions now under 170 mm. Once I change the dimensions, the new plane gets created along the way. Now selecting this plane and create a new sketch. Now using convert entities, selecting this bottom circular edge, transfer into a current sketch profiles. Once the new sketch profile gets created, using that we are going to create a surface. Before that, I need to draw an open sketch in a front plane itself by connecting both the 3D curve as well as the 2D sketch. Draw a 3-point arc from this particular portions, selecting a 3-point arc, start point, end point and midpoint. This is the first 3-point arc. Now selecting this end point as well as a circular profile. Merge it using a pierce options, again selecting the top end point as well as the 3D curve, merge it using the same kind of a pierce options. Now the 2D sketch is coincided with both the curve. Then as in the radius of 30 mm. The first two profiles gets fixed. Then exit the sketch with this same kind of a radius. Then draw another profile in the same front plane at opposite sections. Use the 3-point arc. On the opposite portions, draw the same kind of a 3-point arc profile. Fix both end point by using of a pierce options. First one is on bottom one, second one is on top. Once the profile gets fixed, then form an equal radius by selecting both the profile and make it into an equal constraints. The profile is drawn. Using this, we are going to create a surface. Choose a boundary surface. The first in direction 1. In direction 1 only, I can able to select both the profiles. In direction 2, we can pick both the open curve, first one as well as the second one. That is the first 3-point arc as well as the second 3-point arc to create a surface portions under that. Just hide the overall conical surface, that is the base surface right now. Now select this top plane and create new sketch. Select this top plane and create a new sketch. We can either hide the overall 2D sketch or we can straightly draw a profile on the top of its plane. Now select the circular profile and use the convert entities to make it into our current sketch. That is the radius of 22.5 mm, diameter of 40 mm. Now form a surface by connecting both them. Choose a boundary surface again. In direction 1, I am going to pick this 3D curve as well as a 2D sketch. Parallel within each other, we are going to create a surface along the way. Once we create a proper surface, now close both the portion using a fill surface, selecting the first top circular edges to close the surface portions, again selecting this bottom circular edges to create a surface portions. If you just use a section view to look at the surface, there is a completely a surface portions, not a solid body. But if I use a knit surface to merge an entire entity, also check the create solid icon, first selecting the overall surface body one by one, third one as well as the final one. Once we select on all kind of and close the surface portions, now check this or verify this create solid portions. Now if you use the same kind of a section view, look at it, it is completely formed like a solid body. That is the exact thing we need to done from here. Just hide the 3D curve right now. Now choose this front plane to create a new sketch because we are going to create the base surface at the right portions. Let's draw a simple profile. First one vertical line from the end point. Draw another vertical line from the small portions. Then draw one horizontal line, angular line profile. Then again a horizontal line. Then connected to this end point. Once we just draw the profile, use the smart dimensions to fix this overall dimensions itself. First one is in 45 mm, then the another one is in 5 mm. Slightly switch this point up to its reference portions. Then what is the dimensions of it? It is 2.5 mm. Now I am going to convert this vertical line into a construction line profile. Then draw one 3-pointer at this end point. Now selecting the center point as well as the vertical line to fix it using coincide. Afterwards, using a same kind of a smart dimensions to fix this horizontal line under the dimensions of 10 mm. Again selecting this bottom line profile, it is have the dimensions of 45 mm. Now I am going to pick a chamfer and mention the distance to distance category, mention the distance of 5 mm. Afterwards selecting this end point, automatically the chamfer gets created. Now choose a fillet and form a radius of 1 mm. Either we can pick a 1 mm or a 0.5 mm, that is our preference. Selecting this all kind of an endpoint to create a smoothly solid portions at the bottom of this area. Now I am going to close this overall solid body. Once we close this overall profile, now use a revolved boss. Selecting this particular vertical line, form a solid body under 360 degree. Complete 360 degree. The solid body, that is the base part, is created merged within each other. Let's create a ball at the top of its portions. Selecting the same kind of a front plane. Choose this circular edges and use the convert entities to make it into a horizontal line profile because it is projected like a horizontal line in a front plane. Transfer into a construction line. Then draw one vertical construction line again under the distance of 10 mm. So use a smart dimension to fix this profile under the distance of 10 mm from the end point. Once I mention that, afterwards I am going to draw one line profile to coincide with this vertical construction line. So draw a line profile angularly from the end point. Hold down for a second, we can able to draw a R profile. Once I draw an R profile, now fix this end point with this vertical dimensions of 5 mm. Laterally we can fix it in another way. First, just to fix this profile right now. Afterwards, what is the angular dimensions for this? It is 25. It is a random value, not a perfect value, just a random value, but we can use to create a solid body under that. Once I draw a profile and fix this with an overall dimensions, then create a revolved body by selecting this line profile. Use a revolved boss to create a solid body. If you look at it, the dimensions exceed the values, also it is merged with the side faces itself. Now I am going to reduce the values under that with the 60 mm, create a solid body again. the solid body is perfectly made with our standards. Now choose a front line, create a new sketch just to show the previous sketch which we want to draw and create a solid body. Now I'm going to draw one angular line profile that is perpendicular with each other. So select a line and mention the dimensions of 36 mm. Afterwards, holding your control button, pick a both line profile using a perpendicular constraint to mate within each other. Now choose a 3-point corner rectangle and selecting this point up to this end point and draw a parallel rectangular profile with the reference of this center line. Then mention the dimensions of 2 mm. Again draw a same kind of a 3-point corner rectangle at the particular portions. It is also the same dimensions. All that is a rough one. We can either mirror this profile or we can draw on another kind of a profile also. First, select this overall profile under selection bar and choose in the mirror about. I am going to pick this line profile to mirror within each other. It is combined and form a lengthy rectangular profile right now. So we are not using at these portions. Instead of that, we can either draw on another rectangular profile at the top end point to create a solid revolved features. Instead of selecting the entire profiles, I am going to draw a new 3-point corner rectangular profile at the same kind of a point itself. Now choose this same kind of a line as well as another line and make it into an equal constraints. Afterwards, draw one simple center line profile because we are going to create a solid body by using of that. Then exit the sketch right now. Go to revolved boss. Choose this center line. In the selected contours options, I am going to pick this particular closed portions to create a solid body. Also uncheck the merge result. The first portions gets created. Again, go to the previous sketch. Show that. Then choose the revolved boss. Selecting this closed portions right now. Under selected contours, I am going to pick two opposite closed portion profiles. Now form a solid body. Once we create this separate body, now I am going to make this bottom faces at the flat portions. Go to insert, features, move and copy bodies. First selecting the entire ball body. Entire body. Afterwards, under matings and settings, I am going to pick this flat faces, also the tangential faces, spherical faces. Now it is merged within each other in a tangential constraints. The overall Champions Trophy model is designed right now. If you want to learn a full courses, log on to www.kaliru.in. Thank you.